It was all a big domino effect, starting with the railroads. One of the first railroad companies, Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, had become one of the largest companies in the world in 1871. Many banks backed this company, and they were confident that they would last a long time and continue to make money. Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, however, was too confident and overextended too much, investing in things like coal mining. Due to their overextension, in 1893 they went bankrupt. This was a big problem because of the many banks had invested tons of money into Philadelphia and Reading Railroad. Major banks lost a lot of money due to them going bankrupt, making them collapse. Seeing how the major banks were beginning to collapse, people rushed to the banks to take out their money, fearing they could lose it, causing even more banks to collapse. In total, 158 national banks closed, 172 state banks closed, and 177 private banks closed. You can imagine how this affected the majority of people in the nation. More than 50 different railroad companies were affected by the closure of the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad, as well as the banks. This caused them to completely stop production on railroads, which in turn caused many steel companies to collapse. This led to even more companies and factories closing, causing many people to lose their jobs and unemployment rates to soar. A panic spread across the nation, starting in New York. The panic caused many strikes across the nation, most notably the Pullman strike in 1894, which even managed to cause much of the nation's transportation to shut down. Gold reserves in the U.S. Treasury had fallen so low that the U.S. had to borrow $65 million in gold from J.P. Morgan. Many people began to migrate to the West and settle in small railway towns after abandoning their homes. With the election of President McKinley in 1897, the economy started to finally recover when confidence was put back into the Klondike Gold Rush. The economy would have a sudden boost for 10 years until the eventual panic of 1907. Overall, the panic of 1893 led to a major decline in the economy, unemployment rates to rise up to 20%, and many people lost their jobs. Hundreds of banks and businesses closed.
This has been a strange panic. It's like a blight of paralysis in which a mighty machine has slipped its belt and is still running and accomplishing nothing. A creepy and awful stillness has given us an air of apprehension. Great republics do not last. Whatever has been the rule in history may be depended upon to remain the rule. History repeats itself. Vast power and wealth corrupt a nation. It incites dangerous ambitions, and it can bring the republic down. It can pack the Supreme Court with members friendly to its purposes, run down the Congress, and crush the people's voice. A blight has fallen upon us. The monarchy of the rich and the powerful are the author of it. I had not expected the monarchy to come so soon, but it is here, and it is sitting on the throne.